Hey, what's going on everybody? In today's video I'm going to show you some cool tricks you can do with your graphics by using the invisible feature. So for example, I have two coil images that are flipping back and forth based off the reversing valve command, and I also have multiple VAV graphics all in one that can be changed based off this box type point. So if I were to change this from parallel fan reheat to cooling only, the image would change. So this can cut out a lot of time or a lot of tedious maneuvers that you'll have to do when building graphics. So let's just jump right into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you guys is how to alternate your images based off the output of a point. So for my example, I have a box type enumerated writable, and I have only two facets set. You could set as many as you like, but for this example I'll be alternating between a cooling only and a parallel fan reheat. So next thing you're going to want to do is get a PX file opened up, and I already made the two graphics, but you're also going to want to make two different types of graphics for both devices you want to use. So I have a cooling only graphic, and here I'll delete this just so you guys see, and I have a parallel fan reheat graphic. So what I'm going to do first is get them on top of each other, and then I'm going to go into them, go to value binding, and for now I'm just going to set slot and then the name of the point that I'm going to eventually use to alternate. And I'm going to do this for both. Okay, so with that being in place, you also want to make sure that your graphics relativized. I already have for these two, but if you don't know how, I covered it in a previous video when I was making a VAV box. So once you have that all set, then you can go to your device, right click, go to views. I already have a graphic attached to it, so we'll just open it up. But if you didn't, you can go to views, new view, and then locate your graphic, which is right here. So once you have that open inside of your device, now that the point is, the relativization is now taking effect, you can now right click visible and animate it. So what I do in this scenario is first I figure out which graphic's which. So if this is the cooling only graphic, I'm going to make sure that 1 is set for true and 2 is set for false. So with this being in place, this image will only show up if that point is reading true, or if it's outputting a 1, which will make this graphic true. And I will also go into the opposite graphic, which is my parallel fan reheat. I will animate the visible, and since this is for the parallel fan reheat, I only want this graphic to be true if it's meeting the parallel fan reheat value. So there we go, I have both of them set. Okay, and now that it's attached to both of my VAV devices, this is pretty much it. You're good to go. So when you go in and add your graphic to them, you just need to copy this image file, and then if you change the box type point from parallel fan reheat to cooling only, the graphic will change right with it. So very short, very easy. And if you want to make adjustments to the graphics, you can always just open up the page directly and make whatever changes you like. But I find this to be much easier if you're doing many controllers in mass, so you don't have to go through and figure out, which one's which. Like, you can do all that in the pre-stages. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to alternate your images based off of the invisible. So first thing you're going to want to do is make both your image files. So I have a heating coil and a cooling coil, and they're both going to turn on and off based off the compressor call. So this is cool, but for me to have the invisible working, I'm going to need the outlier. So for this example, it's going to be the reversing valve. So what I want essentially is when the coils are red, I want it to be the reversing valve off and the compressors on, and when it's cooling, I want the reversing valve on along with the compressor. So to do that, you're going to find your reversing valve point, copy that, and then open up. You're going to have to put in both your coils, so open it up, go to value binding, add it in like such, And then if you go to the visible tab, now if you right click and you animate, you'll see you have a reversing valve tooltip, I guess, or feature. So here's where we're going to set it. So for this is the, let's go back. So this is the heating coil. So what we're going to do is go to visible, animate, open up the reversing valve. And since this is the heating coil, when I have a call for the reversing valve, I don't want this image to show up. So when true, I don't want it to show up, so I don't want it to be visible. And when false, I want this image to show up. So we can leave that true. And then hit OK. And as you can see, it's already going to take effect. So when it's on, or when it goes off, this will go on. And now let's do the opposite for the cooling call. So go to value binding, paste in your point, open up visible, hit animate, open up your reversing valve. Okay, so since this is the cooling coil, when I have a reversing valve call, I want this image to show up on my graphic. So when true, I want it true, and when false, I want it false. So there we go. So now we have two images that are going to alternate based off the reversing valve call. And you can change this up for, you know, whatever application you're using this. This is just what I most commonly use this trick for. So as you can see, when the image goes away on your graphic and you try and click it, you can't click on it. So what I'll do is go into the widget tree, highlight both of my coils, and then I'll line them up together. And there we go. Now it looks a lot cleaner. So as long as we have a compressor call, this will alternate between like colored and not colored, and with the reversing valve, that's how I change blue and red. So hope this isn't a bit too complicated for you guys and I can somewhat explain this, but other than that, that about covers all the material. So if you guys know any other cool tricks that you can do with the visible, please feel free to leave it in the comments. But besides that, I hope you guys have a great day.